Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Global Happenings to the YouTube channel. Many Nigerians have been waiting for both Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi to speak on the final verdict being made some few hours ago by the PEPC judges, where their cases were dismissed for one reason or the other, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu upheld as the president of Nigeria. Well, Atiku Abubakar have decided to speak, not just through his lawyer, but to speak personally, and this is what he has to say. But before we go into the news, please kindly subscribe to our channel if you have not done so already by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Now, all protocol duly observed. Good afternoon, gentlemen of the press. I am here today to give my official reaction to the judgment delivered yesterday by the Presidential Election Petition Court on the 2023 presidential election. As you already know, I approached the court following the declaration by INEC that the APC and its candidates are the winners of the February 25th presidential election. My decision to go to court is anchored in my belief that the court is the sanctuary of justice. The journey of my political career, as you know, holds so much to the courage and fearless decisions of our judiciary. Indeed, I am no stranger to legal battles, and I can say that I have a fair idea of how the court system works. All through my career as a politician, I have been a fighter, and I must say that I have found the judiciary as a worthy pillar to rest on in the pursuit of justice. Now, the last presidential election in our country and the way it was managed by the electoral umpire, that's the Independent National Electoral Commission, leaves behind unenviable precedent, which I believe the court have duty to redress. Our gains in ensuring transparent elections through the deployment of technology was heavily compromised by INEC in the way it managed the last presidential election, and I'm afraid that the judgment of the court as rendered by the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, otherwise known as PEPC, yesterday failed to restore confidence in our dreams of free and fair elections devoid of human manipulations. Like I said, or like I did say at the beginning of this legal battle, when I instructed my lawyers to file my petition challenging the outcome of the presidential election, my ultimate goal in this pursuit is to ensure that democracy is further strengthened through the principles and processes of fair hearing. Gentlemen of the press, I take great pains to tell you that the decision of the court of first instance on this matter utterly falls far short of that expectation. I am therefore here to tell you that though the judgment of the court yesterday is respected, it is a judgment that I refuse to accept. I refuse to accept the judgment because I believe that it is bereft of substantial justice. However, the disappointment in the verdict of the court can never destroy my confidence in the judiciary. Consequently, I have asked my lawyers to activate my constitutional guaranteed right of appeal to the higher court, which in instance is the Supreme Court. It is my conviction that the electoral process in Nigeria should be devoid of untidy manipulations, that the outcome of every election should be a perfect reflection of the wishes of the electorate. I believe that such is the only way through which our democracy can have a manifest expression of its true meaning. Whether I prevail in this quest or not, the record of my effort in ensuring an order of credible elections in Nigeria shall remain for the future generations to evaluate. On this note, I urge all my supporters to remain steadfast. I urge them to take solace in an immortal lesson I learned from my leader and mentor, the late Shehu Yaradua, that losing a battle is less important than losing the war. We might have lost a battle yesterday, but the war is well ahead of us. And I believe that with our hopes in God, we shall win the war of restoring confidence in our electoral system. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press, I thank you for your attention. Atiku Abubakar, GCON, Waziri Adamawa. Vice President of Nigeria, 1999 to 2007, 2023 presidential, PDP presidential candidate. Wow. You've heard it all. My colleague is here. I want to look at this very critically over the fact that finally he has spoken man. What he said, literally said this man. What's your take on this timely press release he made?
Well, for me, I think Atiku Abubakar understand much about the whole issue of taking cases, special electoral cases to court and all of that. But these guys, they have money to spend, because that's my conclusion. From what we are seeing from the appeal court, nothing possibly, as they're going forward to Supreme Court, the amount they're going to pay to Supreme Court may be even higher. Possibly, so Supreme Court can tell them to pay, each of them should pay 50 million or 100. They have the money in stock, because already, based on the way things have been well positioned, you know that if they go to Supreme Court, what is obtainable here will still hold water there. And we know that Bola Tinubu has already more than 100 days in office as the president of Nigeria. He has already selected the Attorney General of the Federation, who is totally in charge of everything about judiciary in Nigeria. So do you think, in your wildest dream, that he will be there and watch and everything will go down on the man who had, lifted him and exalted him to that position? That is not possible. So for me, I just feel maybe these guys just will feel like wasting money, to go to the judiciary again to say, just calm down. Let's prepare for 2027 if he will be, still very active to feature as a presidential aspirant of PDP, which I don't think that there will be an opportunity for him, because a lot of younger people want to do that job, So for me, I feel that the ideal, the strategy should be winning it via the vote of Nigerians, because ordinarily.
But that is lost already. So you're actually...
No, what I mean, in 2027, prepare yourself well so that you can win it via the votes of Nigerians. Prepare yourself, strategize, perfect all your plans, write it down and all of it. After all, we saw something very epic happen in 2015 where, an incumbent was kicked out because of the level of support. So you just
Not
have
this
to...
incumbent. Anyway.
Well, it may not be, but a time can come that it will be overly obvious, because already we know that with what we have seen today, no sane politician who is vying for any president or any post or in Nigeria should think of winning it via the judiciary again, especially when it comes to presidents, except the grounds that this particular constitution will be rewritten, not amended this time around, but hey, they got to work on it again and again for it to be totally perfect, such that it would not allow presidents to be, taken into office when the case tribunal is not over. Shouldn't be sworn in.
But there's something he said that I feel you should address. He says something that, let it be that posterity and the future generation will see how far he went, even to the Supreme Court. He's not giving up. Don't you think there's something he's telling the next generation or the youth of Nigeria to take note over?
Well, for me, he want Nigeria to take note of his how strong he is, how much hope he has on the judiciary. He wants them to see his tenacity to pursue his dream. A lot of people have pursued their dreams like that, and at the end of the day, they got it. So for him, that will be a plus to his political career, that though he failed, but he keep pursuing it, and who knows, maybe he may realize his dream of being the president of Nigeria. But from what I'm seeing right now, just that Nigerians will keep recording it for him, that if there is a man who had contested election for so many times and never won, was Atiku Abubakar. Possibly that's what he wants to get at the end of it.
Buhari did that as well, but he eventually got it.
Buhari did it, but I think Buhari was just in 2019. He didn't contest in 1999, but he contested in 2003. 2003, 2007, 2011, and by the time he got to 2015, he got it. So for me, based on the things on ground and who is on board, I don't think it's going to be easy for him. But however, he can continue to show Nigeria his tenacity. After all, this guy's got a lot of money.
Well, that's we're gonna wrap it up. Let's meet in our comments.